In accordance with the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, this channel is not to be viewed by children under the age of 13. Viewer discretion is advised. Hey everybody, Giant King Mark here, and welcome to part 13 of Let's Play Shadowrun Dragonfall Director's Cut. Last we left off, we got the bioware samples for Dr. Ezkibel. And we also found out that there was a scientist still alive who kind of went a little bit mad for years of watching reruns of an old Shred video. And, well, we got the samples. Had to take on a Shawase retrieval team, but our new scientist friend was able to help. So, now we're just going to deliver these back to the doctor. Also, before I forget, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Let's go. So, this has been like the 5th attempt I've tried at doing this episode. I literally, yesterday, like, if you weren't here, or if you didn't see the community post, there was a rendering issue, and there was a connection issue, so I don't know what the hell's going on with this series. Part of me wants to cancel it, but I don't want to. I have standards. Ezkibel's expression brightens when he catches sight of you. Ah, you're back. Do you have my merchandise? I do, in fact. It's right here. He greedily snatches the samples from your hands. So you do? Yes, this is exactly what I've been waiting for. Good work, Shift. The doctor turns away, rifling through the samples and inspecting their labels. He looks like a kid at a candy store. I will transfer 2,000 UN into your account for the job, and if you give me a moment, I will add the samples that you've recovered into my inventory. He looks over the samples that you've brought him, and eagerly begins punching their serial numbers into his PDA. I think that you'll be pleasantly surprised. And now if you'll excuse me, his sentence trails off as he returns his attention to his merchandise. Hang on, there are a few details that we need to discuss. Fine, but let's make this quick, alright? I want to get this merchandise logged into the inventory before it starts to thaw. The Shawase Corporation had eyes on the building. I had to find one of their retrieval teams. Oh? Can't say I'm surprised. They were instrumental in engineering my downfall back in Spain. The bastards brought all matter of drummed-up charges against me. The tabloid press had a field day. Shawase. They may have their files on me, but they wouldn't take any direct action against the Cruise Bazaar. I have information on several of their executives that would be quite embarrassing if it ever came to light. One of the researchers survived. He's gone insane in there over the past couple of years. He refuses to leave. Thinks that he's something called a Night King. How tragic. He pauses for a moment, considering, then shrugs. As far as I'm concerned, he can stay there for as long as he likes. The lease is paid through 2061, and I don't need the building for anything. That's uncharacteristically generous of you, Doctor. The money is already spent, Shift. I can't get a refund, and the cleanup costs on getting the building up and running would kill me. Will ruin me. So it's just gonna sit idle, one way or another. Anyway, I already have what I need from the facility. If your little friend wants to play out his fantasies in there, he's more than welcome to. I wash my hands of it. That's all I needed. I'll let you get back to your inventory. And now, we gotta give him this auto-injector for Bliss. And let's check out the cyberware. Now this is where the real stuff is interesting. Now we actually got some new bioware stuff. Adds 1 to charisma. Ooh. Adds to intelligence. Interesting. Now where exactly are we going to use? You'll see in about a few seconds. Let's see. Here it is. Orthoskin. Bioware. Weaves grafts of synthogen and energy diffusing material under the skin. It adds +1 armor. That'll work. We'll start off with this for now. Install cyberware. Basically, this is just telling you that if you're installing cyberware, your essence is going to drop, and it makes it a bit difficult to use essence. Well, magic if you have a low essence. So, why exactly am I going to... Will I be popping bioware into myself? Yes. Probably. Depending on what we need. Now. Let's go and see about everyone else. Lane? Even from a distance, it's clear something is not right with Lane. Coming closer, you can see dry blood on his face and clothes, as well as a few discolored blotches that pass for bruises on Troll's skin. More noticeably, there is considerable damage to the man's left prosthetic leg, which he now tends to with tools as antiquated as the leg itself. You alright, Alexei? I'm fine. Nothing a few swings of a wrench can't fix, or a few swings of a crutch. Someone comes at me, thinks me weak, and I show him otherwise. Leaning to one side, Lane's crutch is caked with more blood and what appears to be bits of hair. Tell me who did this to you. Just a punk with some bad ideas. Forget about it. You sure you're alright? I suffered far worse, as you might imagine, and I don't need you or anyone else babying me. I'll leave you be. Man, that sucks. A war veteran, and he's being treated like crap. And he's a troll. That's just asking for trouble. Simi Kim leans against the wall, her head downcast and her face lost in shadow. Sensing your presence, she looks up, revealing a black eye poorly covered by concealer. And she still smiles at you. Hello, Shift. How are you? We give you the shiner. I don't know what you're talking about. Did you want something? Because I've got things to do, you know. Zach says that he has a new sin for me. Well, with aliens and a little girl I need to save. She's waiting for me and I can't let her down. Why do I feel like I've heard that before? If anyone knows what she's talking about, let me know. Something going on around here? There's always something going on. It's the flux, right? It gives, it takes. Sometimes it takes more than it gives. And some things it takes are gone forever. Friends that disappear. Family that dies. People like Monica. I don't much like the flux. In The Sims, you can have the same happy day over and over. You can skip past the parts you don't like, or replay the good moments as many times as you want. I can't think of any parts of real life I'd want to play over, and plenty of parts I wish I could skip. How'd you end up at the Cruise Bazaar? I don't know. I was living on the streets since I was a kid. Had no family, no home. I got mixed up with some bad people and I had a bad day. Ended up owing them money. Too much money. I got beat up pretty bad. Needed a doctor but couldn't pay for one. And I found Doc Ezkibel. Or he found me. I can't really remember. He said he could help me. He gave me the money up front, but he said I had to come back for medicine every month until it was time to pay him back. And I did. I took the medicine just like he said. I really don't want to talk about this anymore, okay? You take care of yourself. Whatever I have to do. Let's go talk to the doctor, maybe. Maybe he's got something new about this. I mean, he probably won't. Doc? Okay, he doesn't. So, this episode is mainly just gonna be us talking with some people and getting some upgrades for our stuff. We definitely need to get the upgrades, trust me. It's time we upgraded to a Fushi anyway. Well, a new decking thing. Lucky Strike. Lucky Strike stands in her customary place, her gear piled atop a nearby bar stool. For once, she isn't smoking. She gives a small nod as you approach. Hey again, Shift, what's up? So you got a team in Might. I'd like to learn more about them. She shrugs. They're good people. They get the job done. What else do you need to know? A little more than that. Well, their names for one. You know my team. I'd like to know something about yours. Alright, sure, why not? We've got Raktor. He's a rigger, an immigrant from the Russian Republic. Genius mechanic and engineer. The guy built his own crawler form drone, and he's as impressive as hell at piloting it. Keep a note on Raktor, because you're going to be seeing him, I think, later on. Then there's Barracuda, Team Shaman and Faceman. He's an elf in his mid-40s. He's got the whole Silver Fox thing working for him. He conducts most of our negotiations. Great card player. Han Chin is our decker and requisite tough guy. Troll, huge, covered in tats and piercings, you know the type. I'm pretty sure that he and Barracuda have a thing going on, but they'll never cop to it. She presents herself to you with an ironic smile. And then there's me. Between us, we keep our bases covered. I'm sure that you do. I'm willing to bet that my crew is better, though. There's still space for you if you wanted to sign on. I hate to disappoint you, but that isn't going to happen. Not that I don't appreciate it, mind you. I just can't work with a team like yours on a permanent basis. Why not? The people in my crew get how things work in Berlin. Even Raktor gets it, and he's still pretty new to the scene here. There's no team leader on my team, and no one following orders. We're all equals, and we can give suggestions or tell one another to piss off whenever we please. That doesn't sound practical. Truth be told, it sounds like a recipe for disaster. Things get tense from time to time, but that's okay. Better than having to prop someone up as an authority figure and force everyone else to follow his decisions. That's the difference between your team and mine shift. You got some good people in your crew, but my team is made up of equals. We're free, and we all know it. I wouldn't have it any other way. She raises her glass and takes a moment to study the amber liquid inside. You're a good runner with a good crew shift, but it'll never be my crew. No hard feelings, though. I'll still moonlight for you whenever you need me. She lifts the glass to her lips, closes her eyes, and drains it. You know my price, and you know where to find me. I've been meaning to ask, what's up with the tattooed circuitry? Is it purely decorative, or... It is now. Wasn't always, though. She stretches her neck so that the circuit pattern on her face can catch the light. What you're looking at used to be a tattoo magic. Got done when I was in Tokyo doing a job for the Yakuza. What were you doing for the Yakuza? Work. The kind of you don't talk about afterward. Oh, my left ear. When were you in Tokyo? About 3 years ago. Spent a few months there. It was a business trip, though. You know how it is. Straight from the airport to the hotel to the job site, then back to the hotel again afterwards. Rinse and repeat until the job's done. Not the most exciting way to travel, but the pay was good. Tattoo magic, huh? That's a new one on me. Yeah, it was for me too. It's a meta magic thing. A way of quickening spells to a person. Binding magic into the flesh so that it's almost impossible to get rid of. Anyway, long story short, I found a way to break it. Now it just looks pretty in the lamplight. What did the tattoos do before you broke them? She pauses for a moment, considering. Finally she shrugs. Yeah, sure, I'll tell you. Why not? Maybe no one will keep you from making the same mistake. So, when I went to work for the Yaks, they insisted that I let them ink me. Said I needed for the job. Long story short, the tattoos did boost my abilities, but they also branded me. Marked me as a Yakuza property and gave them an easy way of tracking me from the astral plane. How'd you break the spell? That's an even longer story, and not one that I want to get into. Suffice to say that I started inked me and then ended up in a pretty dark place. You have to learn sooner or later, but I had a harder time with it than most. Now, can we get back to talk about something else, or better yet, can we shut up and have a drink or two? All this yappa is making me thirsty. Gotta run. See you around. Yeah, see ya. Tattoo magic. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Please just hold off internet until I can at least just get this done. So yeah, yesterday I went to a Christmas party at my brother's place. So far it was pretty good. We did some work. We shared some Christmas gifts, blaster, degrade, erosion. All right. Pop those in. Erosion. I don't think we have killer yet. Do we? No, we don't. Let's grab it. And medic. And let's grab suppression. I don't know if it'll actually be good or not, but I can't help but at least, have a backup just in case. So yeah, the party was okay. Hung out with my nephews. Saw them get some good gifts. One of them, they had like a computer in their room with a desk, like 2 desks, and I'm like, that's good. It's a good setup. Cammy brightens up as you approach her, grinning wildly. Hey there, Alta was just telling me you were around. I was wondering if you might be willing to share a story or two. What are you looking for exactly? The girl taps a finger thoughtfully against her chin. Well, you're new here. I know that you went with you knew Monica. I got a vague idea about what went down the night she died. I want to know what you think of your most exciting adventure has ever been. Hang on, how the hell did you hear about that? She smirks playfully. Remember, I'm Altu's ears and hands outside the cafe. We share a lot of intel, he and I. So, what is the story between you two then? She glances away briefly before returning her gaze to you. I suppose I can tell you, if the Monica thing was a secret of yours, it's only fair I share one of my own. I never really went to school. Pretty much been a street kid as long as I can remember. There was so much to learn from people outside of school that I never really bothered. Makes it difficult to get a job, so as all good street kids do, I chose a place to haunt with my friends and always hung out there. That was Altus Cafe, and he was super nice to me and mine. I felt more comfortable with him than I ever did with my Vater. Her eyes narrow only for the briefest moment at the word, and we talked a lot when I was young, around for my friends. Well, while I was waiting around for my friends. He must have been fairly comfortable with me too, otherwise he wouldn't have offered me a job. What is it that you do really? Technically I'm the barista, but like I said before, ears and hands. I run his errands, I gather gossips, and sometimes I even make coffee. I much prefer the Hizuka options though. Real coffee makes me feel paranoid. Speaking of which, I should probably get back to work. See you around. Speaking of... Luca Duer. So your shift, eh? The late Monica Shaver's replacement. He looks you up and down, then nods. Good, you look the part. Let me get right to business. My organization would like to retain your services for the indefinite future, but first, we're asking you to go on a trial run. An audition of sorts, to prove that you're the right man for the job. Assuming that you complete this trial to our satisfaction, I will offer you a variety of simple tasks. All of these should be achievable in the course of your everyday business. You won't need to go out of your way to expose yourself to too much unnecessary risk. For each task that you complete, you will be rewarded handsomely, and there will be a bonus if you finish them all. So have I piqued your interest? Will you accept the offer? Who do you work for? How do you know where to find me? My organization knows everything worth knowing in Germany, including the small pond that is Berlin. It is in our best interest, however, to remain unknown to the world at large. For the time being, that is all you need to know. What does this audition pay? I can offer you 1,500 yuan, but only if you complete the full audition, the run, and the post-run interview to our satisfaction. If you fail to perform up to our expectations, you will receive no pay, no further offers of work. Sold. Very good. Assuming that your performance in the audition passes muster, I can foresee a long and fruitful business relationship between us. Alright, I'm in. Good, he smiles. Very good. Now, on to the task at hand. There's a man named Ailshire. He's a senior manager at Hermes Eurocom and a respected figure in his community. My organization also suspects him of working with pro-corporate extremists. These people are actively working to undermine the Flux state and pave the way for a corporate-controlled Berlin. My organization has no more desire to see Berlin fall to the corporations than you do. However, we are hesitant to act on our own suspicion without proof. This is where you come in. So you want me to spy on him then? Not directly, no, but we do need to place him under surveillance. You will meet with a team that I've arranged for you, and with their assistance, we'll plant listening devices in his apartment. Hello, viewer. Take for the tour, your test will begin. I will advise you to bring what you need in terms of medical supplies and ordnance. Once you embark on your trial run, there will be no turning back. After you plant the devices and verify that they work, come back to me. There will be a brief interview, a post-mortem on the run if you'd like. And assuming that I am satisfied with what I hear, I will pay your first stipend. Then we will discuss our future options. Best of luck, Shift. We will be watching. I have a bad feeling about this. And if this guy is who I think he was in Shadowrun Returns. So yeah, nothing really much happened yesterday. Chilled, relaxed, went to that party. Blitz won't have anything much to say. Today, the best boy. Dietrich grins you with a familiar wild smile. Shift, what's new? Any thoughts on the last run you'd like to share? Not right now, boss. I got a lot on my mind. Alright. I'm curious, Dietrich. Why did you switch from fronting a band to running the shadows? Honestly, when the stage was getting boring, boss. Spitting and screaming at the world was fun and good when I was a kid, but it just didn't do it for me anymore. The Dragon Slayer wanted me to fight a real enemy, so I left the band behind and I turned to the shadows. He shrugs. I don't know, I guess I figured that'd be the best way to find one. Considering current events, I'd say that you're not wrong about that. Yeah, I guess not. This is like kind of daunting, truth be told, but it's exciting all the same. I've been looking for a worthy adversary for a while now. It's kind of satisfying having a white whale to chase. Dietrich, you do know that the white whale kill they have, right? Yeah, of course I do. He grins. It was a hell of a fight, wasn't it? How long have you been looking for a real enemy? He shrugs. Not too long, ever since I took down the last one. The last one? Of course, I might be able to sail around feeling pleased with myself if I followed the creator of the Moon Main, but the Dragon Slayer ain't that kind of idol. If I'm not drinking, I'm fighting, and if I'm not doing either of those things, I'm looking for a bigger, better fight to get into next time. Dietrich produces a flask from his jacket pocket, and raises it in salute. It's a remarkably simple code to live by. Who was this last one? Gang boss, a great big orcish bastard called the Wildenschwein, led the local chapter of the Horde. I had my sights set on him and his for a while. They hurt a lot of people and I figured they'd pose a challenge. Wasn't wrong about that, but I took him out in the end. Dietrich, when does this pattern end? Well, boss, the way I figure it, it'll end when I pick a fight that I can't win. He smells sadly. Might be this one, maybe the next. It'll be hard to top a great dragon. But that's the way the Dragon Slayer wants it. Who am I to refuse him? Abruptly, he turns away. That's enough talk for today, boss. Besides, you got other things to do, I'm sure. Thanks, Dietrich. Or Dietrich. These two don't have anything to say. There's your computer. Let's check out the safe house data. Got that. 414 UN. Nothing. We don't have any pay data either, so we're good. So recently the 7th Lost Belt, the first half, came out, and man, things are a lot crazy. For one thing, we found out that David is actually an enemy of humanity. No surprise there. Well, actually, that was a bit of a surprise. He also revealed to us a lot of dark implications about what's going to go down pretty soon. Now, let's board the train. And let's go to Frankfurt or Tor to meet Lucas Duer's team. Before you ask, this is like, I literally have an autosave for this moment. Let's see if this works. If not, I'm just going to be so mad. Trial run. As the U-Bahn hums toward the Frankfurter Tor, you tug idly at the fabric of your maintenance uniform. You found it in a duffel bag on your seat when you first boarded, along with a note from Duer to put on before your arrival. The moment you step off this train, the note said, your trial run begins. You're to rendezvous with the rest of your team, recontour the building, and plant the specified devices in Elshire's suite. Beyond that, your approach will be left to you. Do not disappoint us. You are being watched. I've been having rendering issues with this stream for a while now every time I try it. So, last night I actually rebooted the router just in case. Well, this morning actually. As you emerge from the dingy confines of the U-Bahn terminal and step into the light of day, you find yourself confronted by a wall of muscle in a knight-errant uniform. You're with maintenance. It wasn't a question. He's sitting impassively waiting for a response. Yes, sir. Have you seen any of the maintenance guys around here? They've been trickling in over the last 15 minutes or so. I've already done a security check on your entire crew. Everything checked out, so you're good to head into the building whenever you're ready. Thanks for your time. Good night to you. Have a good one. I really want to see a Shadowrun anime in the same vein as the Cyberpunk Edgerunners anime. Let's be honest, that'd be amazing. A young dwarf looks up at you, wide-eyed with apprehension. From the way that she's fidgeting, you can tell that she's terrified. She bites her lower lip, eyes darting from side to side. Finally, she takes a step toward you. Hello? Are you Mr. Shift? Yeah, that's me. Am I late? No, you're right on time. But the rest of us got here early, and one of the others was pretty vocal about not wanting to wait. He took off, and the other guy followed him. They're already inside. Well, I guess I can't... Well, great. That's just great. The dwarf wrings her hands. I'm sorry. I told them to wait, but they didn't listen. They just muzzled on past me and waltzed through the front door. Alright. Calm down. I see that you have a loop toolbox. Are you a rigger or something? She swallows. Well, no. I'm not like you. Not like the others. You should probably know that. Then what are you like? A normal person with a boyfriend and a cat and a shitty apartment. I'm not a career criminal, that's what I'm saying. I'm just an electrician. Why the hell did our employer saddle me with you then? It's alright. Don't worry, I'll look after you. The tear drains from her face. She looks exhausted. Thank you. I really, really mean that. I'll try to take care of myself as best as I can. I don't want to be a burden. I brought my taser and I have a little hold-up for self-defense. but I never fired a living thing before, let alone a person. I really hope that I won't have to. I understand. Now you said that the teammates are already inside. You sure about that? Yes. I watched them storm through the front doors of the building that we're gonna hit about 10 minutes ago. Son of a bitch! They'll still be on the first floor. Nobody's getting upstairs until I bypass the security locks in the elevator. That's why I decided to wait for you out here. I figured that they couldn't get too far ahead of us if I don't go inside with them. Good thinking. But alright, let's get in there before the others blow the run. Yeah, okay, let's do it. So we have an electrician. Who are the other two? A mid-level corporate compound complete with living spaces on the upper levels. Anything else around here? Don't you have somewhere to be? Oh, right, maintenance uniform. As you step to the door, you find yourself confronted by a pair of men wearing the same kind of uniform that you are. Judging by the expressions, there is no love lost between the two. Hearing the door swing open, they turn to face you. The shorter of the two, a human with arcane symbols tastefully embroidered into his belt, glares at you. You're here, finally. And you brought our little mouse of an electrician with you. Better late than never, but not much better. You're tardy enough as is. He turns his thumb at the elf standing beside him. I'll leave it to you to keep our pack meal in line. The elf's lips curl into a snarl. Hanging from his back is a bulging pack that looks incredibly heavy. His broad shoulders sag under the weight of whatever's inside. He's as dumb as a post, but he can lift heavy things. Might not be bad in a fight either. At the very least, he can soak up a few bullets for the rest of us. Staring daggers at the mage, he spits out a long string of foreign words in a single susurrant breath. The sound of it is lovely, but his expression leaves a little doubt that the message behind the words is an ugly one. Oh, and I hope you can speak Sperethiel. He shakes his head in disgust. Damn useless immigrants. Look, let's just get on with it. Straight to the point. Good. I have an important meeting in a few hours. So let's get to the penthouse and plant the cameras. I'll mask them against detection, and then we can all go our separate ways. The elf mutters something under his breath and hitches the bulky pack up a little higher on his back. His muscles bulge under the strain of it. That pack looks heavy. I can help you with it if you want. The elf blinks uncomprehendingly and takes a half step back. I told you, can't understand a word you're saying. Nothing comes out of his mouth but that pidgin drivel the elves call the language. It's your Tynegar dialect, if I'm not mistaken. Should you do us all a favor and go back? Can you understand me at all? The musical tones of the elvish tongue pour out of his mouth again, but you can't make out a word. The dialect is quite foreign. It's unlike the form of Sperethiel spoken by the elves of Tir na Nog. The elf falls silent. He looks just as frustrated as the mage is. Just relax and concentrate on the job. The words don't seem to have much of an impact. The elf's scowl just deepens. Okay, now that we're all together, let's discuss our approach. Anyone know how we're supposed to get into Elshar's penthouse? I do. If you can get me into a building access panel that's on the same circuit as the penthouse, I should be able to put the security system into maintenance mode. The job will take some creative rewiring. Well, that and whatever's in the pack that the elf's carrying. Our employers gave me the schematics. And do you know where we'll find the access panel mouse? Quit calling me that! She takes a moment to calm herself. And yes, I do. There's an access panel in one of the mid-range apartments on the same floor. My contact gave me a keycode that should get us in. You've said should twice already. That makes me feel uneasy. Well, there's something I can do about that. It's the plan that I was given and we're stuck with it. Once you have a better idea, we'll just have to follow our instructions and hope for the best. She turns to face you. Get me to a building access terminal on this floor and I can rewire the elevator. That's the first thing we need to do. Once we're upstairs, we'll use the code I was given. I rewire Elshar's security system and we hide the cameras in his apartment. Her brow furrows. That's the theory anyway. I got a bad feeling about this. But I'll call it here for today. Here's hoping that the stream actually renders properly. Anyway, next time on Let's Play Shadowrun Returns, me and this little motley crew here are gonna go and plant some evidence. Little cameras. Shouldn't be too difficult, but I have my doubts. If you guys like what you guys see, hit that subscribe button down below and the bell icon to stay notified when I'm gonna upload. Hit the like button if you like this stream, and leave a comment down below. Until then, I'm Dragon King Mark, and I'll see all of you next time. And once again, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and hopefully you're all enjoying your holiday season. Hope to see you guys then. Well, next time. Laters.